Hi. How's everyone doing today? Hi, Metal. Thank you for sorting out the things. Hi, hi, Quedge. I don't actually know how you want me to pronounce that because it looks like a key smash is your name. Hey, Bismarck. Thank you for the light, Calbatch. And hey, Gear, you misread. Hey, Gear, you misread it as Emperor's Chicken. You know that's fair. I mean, they literally have a little chicken wing as their emblem, so you know you're half right. So today, last week we did a bunch of metallic purples, and this week we have a big old selection of different purples we're going to try to do like non-metallics. So we've got about 17 different combinations, and these are the miniatures that we're doing. Some of them are kill team operatives, some of them are legionaries for 40k, some of them are raptors, which I hope will be in the army list. We've got some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful neon colors, which we're going to be playing around with. Which, if I shine a black light on these, they absolutely just glow in the dark. So, wait, am I echoing? What do you mean? Wait, why am I echoing? How can I be echoing? Am I? Can you guys hear me twice? Actually. Let's see. I'm just gonna talk a little bit, and it looks like there's only the one audio source for me. It should just be me and Spotify, right? Is anyone else getting that problem? Oh, you think your headset's connected to multiple devices? Lol. Lol, Gear. Gear, you had scuff today. It's not me. I'm not the one who's scuffing for once. So yeah, I'm super excited to play around with these. We're going to be mixing up some custom paints using pure ink pigments later. Try and make very nice deep colors. But first of all, I was watching a video by Goobertown Hobbies about prepping surfaces, and one thing that stood out to me was the use of inks instead of regular paints to kind of just create shadows and lights. So I suppose it's a bit like the whole dry brushing slap chop thing, but you don't need quite so much pigment with acrylic inks, especially not when it's pure titanium white. So my plan is to first set these miniatures up with that. Is one of your neighbors a fan? Mayhap. Mayhap. Wait, why do you have your headphones connected to your neighbor's devices, lol? That's hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna get some gloves. Also, I'm sorry I'm slightly late today. I primed these miniatures about an hour ago because I fell asleep by accident on the couch while I was watching YouTube after I'd done some work. And I had an accidental couch nap. Woke up like 2 hours ago. Was like, oh shit, I have to prime my minis and set up my stream station. So I primed the minis, and about 10 minutes before stream was due to start, I realized they were still wet. So I had to quickly get a hairdryer and just like blast them with that so that they'd actually be dry enough to paint at the start of the stream. I didn't mean to have a. It's not. I didn't mean to have a couch nap. I was just like taking a break because I'd like built a bunch of. I built some of these literally just this morning, so I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough miniatures for like what I wanted, all the paint combinations I wanted to try out. So I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna have to do it then. I'm just gonna have to crack on, do everything at the last minute. But you know what's new here? What is new here? So I'm first of all gonna clear out these guys because I don't want to accidentally spritz them with white in places they don't want their white sprayed. And part of the reason is we're doing this is because this is gonna set up some nice levels. Hey Mercury, how you doing? Their Slanesh follows, they're always wet. I mean, not always. They explore all kinds of sensation, including sandpaper, lol. Okay, so I'm just gonna... a nice little dropper bottle top. Ooh, that's very white. Holy shit. I love dropper bottles. I feel like I'm like a kid in science class all over again, you know? That should do for now. Now, I've not actually used this airbrush needle before, so it should be a little bit bigger than the last one I used, but not nearly as big as about half the size of the one I used last time. Let's have a quick look at how that sprays from a distance, shall we? Okay, that's not too bad. I should be able to get some nice gradients with this, which is the main objective. So, I'm just gonna actually I need to move these. Some of these are in the way. Get out of here. I'm gonna start with this guy. So this guy actually uses the head from the Forge World Emperor's Children Praetor, and that part of my paint area is completely out of it. Also, if you're wondering why I sometimes sound a bit quiet, it's because basically all of my my PC setup is on a desk to my left, and my painting setup is on a separate desk. So sometimes I have to look in different places, and my mic is positional. So sometimes I just need to occasionally move it a little. The edible just kicked. Oh shit! Jesus Christ. You know, that's fine. I hope you have a wonderful time, Gear. I have never... Actually, no, that's a lie. I have not eaten edibles recently. The last time I had an edible. God, I think I was in uni. No, was I? It might have been during COVID when I was bored in lockdown. Oh. Okay. What am I doing, chat? Ah. We got some nice... I like this. I've never worked with this particular ink before, but like, got a lot of nice gradients with it. But it kind of also gets everywhere it needs to. I like that. That's was a little bit quicker than I thought it would be, honestly. But that's okay. If it doesn't take long to do, then that's great for us, because I don't like to spend too long painting individual miniatures unless they're special characters. If we get this done early, I might kit bash my Demon Prince for this army on stream, because I'm gonna kit bash them out of this vampire from Age of Sigmar called Lorkavai, Mother of Nightmares. And it's a very cool fucking model. Like, holy shit. But this is mostly about trying to explore what kind of colors look nice, honestly. Bukkake gun. It's not a Bukkake gun! But you know, if you're into that, who am I to deny your headcanon for the Emperor's Children? I mean, they could have a Bukkake gun. I don't know that it'd be an effective weapon, but who knows? Wait, isn't the Bukkake gun just in people's pants? Lol. I like this. Got a nice range of different colors. Different grey tones. Bukkake gun would be penis. Yeah. Yes, it would. God, I can't believe it. It's because I'm painting Emperor's Children. This is what chat. This is what chat has immediately become. I can't believe this, chat. Oh yes, we've just finished. I just finished the last episode of the newest season of Vox Machina. It's such a fucking ride. Oh my god. I had a fantastic time. Honk was hooked immediately in the first season when I introduced it to her like a year ago. But yeah, she suffered emotional damage in the new season. And it was glorious to watch. I had a wondrous time kind of being amused by that. Well, but you know, if a Dungeons and Dragons campaign doesn't eventually inflict you with emotional damage, it's not really. I feel like it's not really that immersive, because you have to feel something for the characters, because like you put your heart and soul into what they do. So of course you should feel something when like stuff happens to them. Yeah, titanium white is fantastic pigment. Like, and this particular ink, it's so nice. It goes on and it's so bright, and yet it's absolutely doesn't oppress anything. Like, it doesn't force the rest of the miniature to be this particular color. Scanlan, look. My hands are in the booty. Well. Tried to listen to the D&D games, but they just don't go fast. Well, I mean, that's the nature of all D&D games. They aren't... Some people like to watch other people play D&D, but I'd rather just play D&D. Or watch, like, the story summarized, or, like, someone else tell the story of a D&D campaign. I think that's why there's a good, really good scene on YouTube for Dungeons & Dragons storytellers. Because, like, let's be honest... No one likes to sit around waiting for other people to roll dice in a D&D game. I get incredibly impatient with other people, and I just want to, like, either take my turn, or I occupy myself by building Warhammer or painting in the background while other people are doing their thing. Which I don't know if that makes me a bad player, because I know some DMs don't like that. But, like, come on, my guy. I'm paying attention. I just have nothing to contribute at this point in time. And I need to keep myself occupied, because, like, autism. Doesn't help episode 1 of season 1 is just them spending 3 hours wandering around town. Yeah, like, that's just what D&D is like sometimes, though, like, in a campaign. And it's not fun to watch other people do that. It's fun when you yourself are doing it. But, like, watching other people do it is a bit mid, honestly. So I kind of get why, like, watching Critical Role isn't super great. What I really like is, have you seen the podcast Roleplay Nebula Jazz? Like, that is, that's a fantastic D&D game to watch, because it's like, it uses a different RPG system called Fate Accelerated, which is very simple and very fast. There's no complicated rules, it's just like, you either do something smart or cool or, like, you know, physical, and or you're like very simple, like broad narrative stats. So everyone does everything really quickly, and it's all about the story and action all the time, because that's just what people choose to do. Also, I've just realized my camera's like mirrored for some reason. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know how to see. I don't know why it's mirrored, and I don't know how to unmirror it, but you know, that's fine. I can work with this. I'm not gonna troubleshoot something that doesn't affect the quality of the stream. But it is weird to me. I don't know why it's like this. It's never done this before. Oh no, there's a hair on the model. That's the worst. Actually the worst. Can I just pull that off? Oh, I need some tweezers. Ponk, where are the tweezers? She's got the tweezers in the other room. Oh wait, no, I've got some. DM won't let me scavenge plants and stuff to make it cool items for poisons or whatever. Bruh. That's one thing I want to do, actually. Is I'm going to do, like, a Warhammer-style D&D campaign at some point for the server, but I need to paint all the miniatures, because it's not going to be, like, on Roll20 or something. I'm going to... Small Zeddy help me out with figuring out how to do chat control dices and stuff. And one thing I might do is like let chat do the roles for the monsters and let community members in Discord each pick a character. Then I'll have a specific model for that character, and I'll be moving them all around with like a webcam and stuff. It should be fun. It should be fun. And it'll be like an ongoing campaign, but like, first I need to finish writing it. Second of all, I need to like get the models all sort of like finished. Because I want to get them all finished. Because as nice as digital Dungeons and Dragons is, there's just something to me that's nice about having tactile miniatures to like position, and it's easy to like show chat and people online like where everything is if they're literally just on a table and you can see, oh, this character's here and that character's there. It'll probably be a bit like Rogue Trader, I reckon. Or maybe it'll be like, I mean, I don't know. I suppose it depends. I could do a Black Crusade style thing. That'd be fun. Let chat be some Chaos Space Marines, lol. But I'm not sure how much fun that would be after a little while, if I want to be real with y'all. There's so many Warhams. I mean, I might need to go over some of these with a second pass later. In fact, I'm probably going to. But that's how you should do paints, really, with multiple thin coats. Unless you're using contrast paints. Because you want to build layers up. Otherwise, like, it dries a bit weird. It might look really bright right now. But it won't eventually. I want to get a lot of light on the flamey bit. Because that is actually a light source. Shockingly enough. So I'm not going to do much shading on the back because all of the light sources are on the front. So it makes sense for that back bit to be a bit darker. You got a sword with some fire damage, strongest weapon you ever had. One of our current major enemies is orcs from hell or something, and they fire him in. Oh, that's so shit. I understand having an enemy, like, the occasional enemy that's resistant to your snacky magical item, because, like, sometimes players rely too much on magical items. But, like, you don't need magic items if you build your class correctly, because, like, especially if you're playing 5th edition D&D, a lot of stuff is, like, really, really ridiculously powerful, even without magic items. Like, fighters, for example, just, like, do a million attacks all at once and shit. But then there are other classes that, like, if you give them the right magic item setup, then they become incredibly overpowered. Like say, for example, monks. Just give them stuff that gives them extra unarmed damage, because no one goes unarmed. Except the fucking monk. And then the monk beats the shit out of everyone with the power of fist. The best spell. God. I haven't gotten to play D&D in months, because, like, my party has, like, had scheduling shit going on. Which, you know, is understandable. Real life always takes precedence. But, like, you know, it's nice to just sit around and, like, roll some dice in Dungeons and Dragons, you know? A lot of these models are kit bashers, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Horus Heresy kit bashers with, like, bits from the Legionary sprue and the Nemesis Claw stuff from Kill Team. And I also got some little brass Roman numerals to add the Legion emblem on there. See the little 3 I've got on their legs. I just think it looked nice. I saw someone on Reddit do it, and I was like, oh, how'd you do that? And he was like, yeah, no, it's just some brass Roman numerals from Green Stuff World. And I had a look for them, and they were super cheap, so I was just like, fuck it, mind. They're not all like that, though. I think it's important to have some inconsistency in, especially with an Emperor's Children warband, because they are all about, they're more of a collection of individuals than a unified force since the Horus Heresy. And I kind of want to express that in how they're painted and how they're built. So no two miniatures, even if they've got very similar loadouts, should look the same. That's my overall goal, I think. Just to make sure that no one looks the same. Everyone is their own person. I need to be a lot more careful about where I'm holding the miniatures with this glove. It is caked in fucking pigment, as we can see from the bits I've touched on the back of the cloak there. But that's fine. That's just like stitching from like a literal skin cloak, so it's allowed to be a bit messy. Once these are prepped, I'm not sure which I want to try first, honestly. I think I'll go for the pure ink colors, just because they're nice and simple. Oh, am I out of ink? I'm almost out of ink. I'll just get an extra little drop in so I can finish these off. Because I do want to do another pass on some of these ones I did at the beginning, because I don't think I was generous enough with the spray. Oh, well, I'm not supposed to be super generous. Oh, shit. Well, I've wasted a drop of ink, but that's fine. It's only a drop. Also, another thing I love about inks, working with inks, is that they're so thin, you don't have to do any work to, like, prep them for painting. They're just right out of the bottle. Yeah, use it. Which I think, as someone who's returning to the hobby and is not super confident in thinning, it's much like air paints. It's exactly what you want, because it just makes life so much easier. Rylanor is not one of the best characters in all 40k. Rylanor is incredibly hyped because he had one cool, like, relatively throwaway narrative. So what Rylanor did, is famous for, is waiting 10,000 years to lure Fulgrim, Primarch of the Emperor's Children, to visit him so he could drop a virus bomb on his face. What no one talks about is how Rylanor, who was leading the fucking defense of the loyalists at Istvan, despite being a dreadnought, who decided to abandon his allies and the other survivors to go and do this plan of his for no reason. Because, like, with his command, they were actually holding their own and fighting back. And, like, if he'd stuck around, because let's not forget, he is not only like a contempted dreadnought, but he is like kitted out with like all the best shit because he's an ancient, not just a contempted dreadnought, but an ancient contempted dreadnought. And that's in the age of the Horus Heresy, lol. So like, he knows his shit, and he's got all the best kit, and is an absolute powerhouse. And instead, he just abandons all his friends so he can go on this crazy mission that takes him 10,000 years. And in the end, it doesn't even work, because he's a demon fucking Primarch. So he's just going to come back. And people make up a lot of shit about, like, oh, it wounded his pride and all that shit, but, like, did it really? I'm pretty sure Fulgrim was just like, oh, well, that hurt. Anyway, I'm going to go get high now. And murder fuck a planet out of existence, because that's the kind of guy Fulgrim is. Most a fire also at the moment. So you've been dipping into... Oh, what you want is a cleric for magic damage, really. Also, you want to see if you can get a hidden knife in your shoes, while your sword is your best weapon, as long as we don't have to play optimally. You want to have a bunch of attacks to switch up for variety. That's cool. That's a cool philosophy. You should follow Nuzlocke rules, and each one is named, so you have a bit of attachment to each unit. That's cool. You realize they lose the fight eventually and set the trap. Bruh. Like, people fucking stan Rylanor like he is, like, the best thing ever. But, like, I don't see it. I don't see how he's a good character. He literally just did one thing, and it wasn't very successful. Is all I'm saying. Like, he could have done that at a point where it actually mattered. But nah, he waited 10,000 fucking years to do it. Like, Fulgrim's been, like, doing whatever he wanted for, like, the past 10,000 years. And also, look, a couple hundred years later, oh, he's out and about raping planets. Because, like, Fulgrim, lol. It's just dumb. And people, like, be like, oh, no, he's the reason he's out of the setting. No, this happened in Warhammer 40,000. Which is the current setting. Which is also the setting where Fulgrim is coming back. So, like, did he really do anything? I'm like, I struggle to really see how people, like rationalize the notion of Rylanor having a massive impact on the setting and on Fulgrim. Because I just don't see it. I just don't really see it from the words of the actual story. I think a lot of people just like to shit on Chaos players and take any kind of opportunity they can to, like, hype themselves up. Because, I don't know. And again, I know that there's a lot of fragile egos in the Warhammer community, unfortunately. But that's just people being insecure, which I guess makes sense, because let's be honest, we're all a bunch of nerds. It's natural that people are going to be insecure about stuff and going to want to hype their shit up or make themselves look better or their side look better. But, you know, as long as we're all dealing with shit healthily, that's fine. And as long as everyone has a nice time enjoying the hobby their own way, that's fine too. You don't full stand him. You're finding Pathfinder 2 has a pretty cool system most of the time. I've heard Pathfinder is very complex. Like, I didn't really understand Pathfinder Kingmaker, and that's a simplified digital version of the game. Like, I understand at its core it was basically D&D, but it's got a lot of extra shit on it, which I don't quite get. But people do what they want and play the game that they enjoy, as they should. I really want Batshark to fix the soundtrack of Darktide. Because where are my banging tunes when I'm fighting fucking heretics? They're all gone. Like, I don't really give a shit about any of the other stuff with the gameplay. Just fix the soundtrack. It just adds so much to the experience. They've got some absolute banging tunes on this soundtrack. And yet we never hear them anymore. It's just a little bit sad. I really like this ink. It's so nice. Like, it just picks out every little thing. I do wonder if it could be a little bit. No, because then it wouldn't be an ink, would it? You know, and it wouldn't probably have the same properties it currently does. But yeah, I really like how this behaves over black and on these miniatures, because, like, I don't know how much you guys can see, but to me it looks like it picks out every little, like, wrinkle in the miniatures. It's also much more +1, -1 than when 5e is much more focused on advantage, disadvantage instead of bonuses to rolls. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let's... I'm so glad I decided to do just a second little coat on these, because I think it just adds a little bit more depth to it all. As I really focus, like, on bits of it, more so than some bits of it, more so than others. Just a little bit more. This brush is starting to run. I hope this stuff dries quicker than the primer. It should do. It's a much thinner paint. My god. The neighbors are making a ton of noise. It's really annoying. I don't even know why. I wonder what they could be doing upstairs. They certainly aren't fucking, because, like, that'd probably make a lot less noise than what they're doing. Oh my god. Okay. Now, with this last spritz on this miniature and the next one, should be more or less ready for the next phase, which is to just kind of pick out different pinks and purples for each of the miniatures while they dry. I think this is basically empty now. Just a little bit. Okay. I think that we're good, yeah. I think that works. Let's get rid of this glove and clean up this airbrush. So, I'm not sure which models I want to give what. So I'm gonna do 2 in fluorescent blue and 2 in fluorescent pink, with 2 different fluorescent blues and fluorescent pinks. But I'm gonna use the fluorescent pink to over the fluorescent blue to turn it into like a fluorescent purple. And I've got a fluorescent purple, like just a regular fluorescent purple here. So I'm thinking Doom Eternal free on Twitch game giveaways. Yeah, I picked that up a little while ago. I should really play Doom Eternal. I know Metal's been asking me to play it for a little bit, I think I'll do Kill Team Operatives and Fluorescent? Yeah. No. Maybe. Anyway, let's clean the airbrush out very quickly. Just spraying to empty out all the white of the chamber, because it's just a little bit more efficient than cleaning it. Yeah, man. Where was all this paint when I, like, was painting? Jesus Christ, where did this all come from? I was trying to use this, and then it wasn't coming out, and then I, like, put, like, a couple more drops, and those drops are still in the chamber. In like, the cup. Like, bruh. Bruh. Airbrush is holding out on me every time I use it. Every time. Oh, Doom Eternal, Methel. I got it on Twitch game, Prime Games or whatever. Because it was on Twitch Prime. I don't know when I'll stream it. I don't know when I'll stream it. Well, see you later, Gear. I hope you have a nice rest. Okay. I think what I want to do is pick out the models for each of the different paints combinations I want to try. I think that's the right choice to make at this stage. Because some of them are still drying, so there's no real rush to, like, get them all done, I think. these interdental brushes in. Clean out all the remaining ink from here. Airbrush maintenance is a pain. But it's a worthwhile pain, I think. Like, I do sometimes feel like using an airbrush does create a lot of problems. Not like in terms of the painting, it's just there's a lot of finicky technical shit you have to do with an airbrush to make sure it doesn't, like, die on you. And me being a neglectful, forgetful person when it comes to my tools, I sometimes forget this. Okay, so let me organize the different categories. So we've got some purple inks, just plain purple inks, flat purple paints, and pink paints, not just purple. I think I'll do the regular paints, inks, and paints first. Then I'll do a mix of inks. And then I think I want to save... I'll do the two ink mixes. And then I think after that... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we'll just pick some regular guys for these, because these are the relatively simple bits. One, 2, 3. I think most of these will be the raptors, honestly. 2, 4, 5. 6. 7. I'll do the Balefire Tome guy as well. 2, 4, 6, 8. Two, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. Cool. Let's get these other guys out of the way and start organizing how I want to paint these. Okay, so let's game color violet ink, Eidolon purple clear, which we've used before. Those will be the easiest to do. Then I think we'll do color mixes. Actually, no, we'll do the inks last from this little batch. That one with that one. That one with that one. Ooh. Many paths, thank you so many paths, One Forest, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate that. You probably have a hard time at the start. It's much more fast-paced than Bolt Gun. But at the same time, it's better when it comes to health, armor, and ammo drops. Okay. Well, I will happily give it a go. If I don't have fun, it was literally a free game, and I'll drop it, lol. And I'll have literally lost nothing. So, you know, it is fine. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Phoenician purple. I'm gonna give this guy the Phoenician purple. Then I think this guy can have alien purple. And this guy will have these two, which I'll mix. I'll start with the blue one, those, and then highlight with red. Same with this guy here. So, what is the plan? So we've got an ink set, a paint set for each of these miniatures. All planned out now. So, let me just have a little sip, and then we can get started. I'm gonna start with the inks first, because they are the softest pigments and the easiest to clean out. Then we're gonna start with the lightest of these other paints. And then the last thing we're gonna do is these other red and blue mixture inks. I think will work nicely. I really hope Games Workshop eventually invests in dropper bottles, because, like, since I started using an airbrush, like, they literally brought out, they just seem absolutely essential. And, like, they literally have air paints, which really need to go in dropper bottles, because they're meant to just go in this, aren't they? Up neatly. Okay. I feel like this light is too bright, honestly, for the camera. Like, it's good for me, but now that the miniatures are sort of set up with their levels, see, that's too... Yeah. I think that's a better visual. Anyway, let me get a glove. Don't want to have to spend ages cleaning my hands. It should hopefully not take too long this stage. At least for these ones. The fluorescents might take a bit more work. I hope that, like, I find something I settle on, but for the warband overall, when, like, they have their official release come out. Because I think... Because that's why I'm doing this. It's only going to be, like, a small little army I have for games. Have something a bit more flavorful. While I, like, learn how to paint the army. And then... But I've got something really special planned for next week, because... I'm going to be... Today I ordered some very fancy paints. So I've it's the world's blackest black coming next week sometime, I think. And I'm going to be trying to do that with, like, oil wash. But it's glow-in-the-dark oil wash. So it'll look like the Space Marine is, like, eating light through all the different cracks. Ooh, that's very... Go a bit further away from that. Holy shit. Maybe I could turn the pressure down a little bit. Probably. Ooh, I like this purple. It's very rich. And it's just Vallejo Game ink. Game color ink violet. I'm not really sure this qualifies as violet, honestly. Ooh, it almost has, like, these kind of, like, weird contrast paint qualities. How, like, it like, levels and, like, automatically seems to edge highlight stuff. What do you think, chat? That's a very... It's very blue on the camera, but it's not that blue in my actual vision. I don't know why it looks so blue on the camera. Maybe that's the hue, because I know that I sometimes have a bit of problems with the hue on this camera. If I get the other webcam set up over here, or is that just a cabley mess? The issue I have with the other webcam is that, like, it doesn't like to focus very effectively. So I just kind of use it as cat cam. No, there's too many cables. I can't. Oh, I need to be back from the big one. It's just wires everywhere. Ah. Well, let's have a look. A little bit. Maybe if I adjust it. I think that looks a bit closer to how it... That looks a bit closer to how it actually is. Yeah. Ah! I'm so glad that wasn't open. Yeah, I quite like that color. It's very nice. Put that aside for now. God, I have so much crap on my desk. I don't know if this is actually useful to have. This other little camera. Kind of feels like it's in the way, really. Yeah, I have so much crap here. I'm just gonna move some of it. Okay. Eidolon, purple, clear. I'm done with the game ink. Eidolon, purple, clear. I need to, first of all, quickly clean out airbrush chamber. And then we are just gonna get a pipette, and fill it with this other air. Honestly, that was a little bit stronger, that pigment, than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know. It still looks like there's a fair bit of contrast. Ah! You know what? No, this webcam can go away. No, it's not helping anything. Ah. Ah. Okay, we're fine. Everything is fine. And other lies I tell myself. Oh. Okay. Just a few drops of this should do. I think this will be a bit of a brighter purple, if I remember correctly. It was very bright and very warm. Next to that one's kind of bluish kind of coldness. Yeah, this is a much brighter pigment. Yeah, I see why a lot of people liked this particular paint online. And also in the last stream, quite a few people thought this one looked best over metallic. It's just a nice color, honestly. And the edges come out really nicely for defining the shapes. It kind of behaves a little bit like a contrast paint, honestly. But it's not a contrast paint. I like that. This might be my main paint for the Emperor's Children if I keep enjoying. Like it looks good over metallic and like regular colors. Do I want to spray it a little bit more? A bit white down. No sense letting the paint go to white. I like that color. I really like that color. It's just nice, you know? A bit like Luxium purple contrast, but a little bit richer and darker. Okay. Get all that crap out of the chamber because I can't put it back into the thing. Okay. Next paints we are going to use are not inks. So I'm going to have to be a lot more careful with how I use them. I'm going to make sure that this chamber is empty. My cotton bud. Okay. I think we're going to use Squid Pink next. Which honestly feels like it's meant to be a pun of squid ink, but I guess squids are also pink, some of them? I don't know. I can't remember what a lot of squids look like. But this is probably going to be quite a bright pink color. Okay. So, wait. So, I think for this, mostly, it's going to be about finding which one is going to look kind of like the best kind of base coat color. More than anything. Because we're going to need to do some inks, because it's more of a standard paint. It's not a transparent color like a contrast paint or any of the inks we've been using so far today. So, let's just see how it goes. Ooh, that's a very neat little baby pinkish kind of color. My god. The this has very high opacity. I've almost forgotten what it's like to work with paints like this, like standard acrylics. I suppose that's the problem when you paint a lot with a lot of contrast paints. You forget a little bit how regular paints behave. It'd be nice to do some miniatures where I'm not honestly speed painting, like brush up on techniques and whatnot. That's incredibly bright. Holy shit. I'm going to turn the light off completely to make this visible on camera properly. Yeah, that's incredibly bright. I kind of like it. I don't think this is going to be the one I use for my warband as like a main color. Maybe an accent color. I think this will look really good with like black trim. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna mostly use on this. Is just like do all the trim in black. That's an incredibly bright pink. Definitely gonna get some ink on that. The question is, do I do it before or after I eventually do the oil wash? Because I do plan on putting oil wash on all of these down the line. I like oil wash. It'll look good. Oil wash makes everything look really good, I find, when it comes to Warhammer. It's almost weird that Games Workshop hasn't done like a range of oil paints yet. But then again, oil paints are also incredibly expensive to manufacture compared to like acrylics. So I kind of get why they haven't. Is there any paint left in this chamber? I tried to make sure that... No, I mean, I can't put it back anyway. That's also the problem. I suppose that's the downside to dropper bottles, is that you can't really put paint back once it's out. Okay, the next one is going to be Warlord Purple, which is going to be quite a bright purple, I think. A bright purple, dark pink color. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to quickly rinse this in the bowl of isopropyl alcohol, because that paint has a lot of staying power compared to the inks, which I suppose makes sense, because inks are really not quite the same as regular acrylic paints. They're more there for tonal corrections and washes and things like that, rather than... Oh, I've run out of tissue. That's fine. This will do for now. Then I'll get some more, probably, in the other room, if I need more. Which inhales bales. Thank you for the follow. You prefer dropper bottles because they allow for consistent paint mixing. What are we painting today? We are painting Emperor's Children today. We're not finishing any models. What we are trying to do is we are continuing our journey that we started last week with metallic colors and color shifting paints. And we are trying to find the right colors that we want to use for our whole army. So we've used some of this. Oh god, that's fine. That bottle was closed. It just dropped it, knocked it off the table. Oh my god, everything is going wrong. Well, ah. But yeah, we're painting Emperor's Children. I don't know if my VTuber model is in the way. My tracking is scuffed as hell today, because my microphone keeps getting in the way and I keep moving stuff. And yeah, so we're just trying to figure out what colors we like. We've got 3 done already. These are all just tester models, but models I am going to use in my tabletop army. But really, this is me just wanting to get a very different flavor of Chaos Space Marine army to my word bearers. Emperors, which one of his children? No, it's the 3rd Legion called the Emperor's Children, because they were honored by they were the best Legion back in the day, back when they were loyalists. They were the only Legion allowed to wear the Palatine Aquila. They are Fulgrim's boys. They turned traitor and joined Slaanesh and the Horus's side of the heresy. But yeah, we're just trying to explore different pinks and purples, trying to find the right color. Well, not the right individual color, but the right colors for us. Last week, we did a bunch of metallic paints, which I've put away for now, but I'll probably take them out at the end of the stream just so we can compare and see which ones we like the most. Because my goal, another reason why I'm like using a bunch of different paints and a bunch of different tester models is that the Emperor's Children in lore, they're more of a collection of individuals than an organized fighting force. Because having fallen to Slaanesh, they're all about personal gratification and excess. So they all seek out what they particularly want. So they all have different things. Those nerds? What do you mean? They're not the Thousand Sons, lol. These are the guys that this is the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll Legion. But I suppose you could call them nerds of a sort. I mean, everyone in Warhammer 40k is a nerd, and especially Space Marines, lol. Oh, wait, what the fuck is going on with this one? Is that right? I think I'm gonna need to do another pass with the... What is happening with this paint? It's all just dropping off. Holy shit. I've never seen this happen before. Okay, that's weird. You see what I mean about... Like, the paint is just kind of, like, falling right off. It's like it doesn't want to adhere to the miniature. And it's all just pooling at the bottom. I've never seen this happen before. But it's not like the miniature is primed, so... And it's not, like, been glossed over or anything. This shouldn't be happening. I've never seen this happen before. I'm just gonna get a tissue and wick some of this away. We'll probably go over it again. But I think that puts Eidolon Purple Clear out of the running for use on as a pastel color. I don't know, it still looks quite nice, but it is a bit weird. I don't know why it's behaved like that. I'll try another layer of it at the very end, I think. But I've never seen, like... Maybe try to thin the paint a bit. Maybe. But, like, it's meant to be in a clear ink. You're not meant to thin them. They're meant to just go on. Like, all of the paints I'm using are air paints. They're pre-thinned for use with airbrushes. Because all I'm trying to see is how the paints look more than anything. And so far, I think they all look quite nice in their own way. I don't think I'll use this one. I think it's just a bit too pink, too bright, a bit too soft. It's not very in your face, but I think it'll look fantastic with, like, some black contrast colors on stuff. But anyway, I'm going to move on to Warlord Purple. You never used airbrushes before? That's fair. I mean, I've only started to use an airbrush recently. Thank you, chat, for collectively getting this for me, by the way, on Throne. I have kind of mostly just been doing slap chop with brushes. So, and speed painting for Dark Angels and Word Bearers, and some other bits. So it's nice to kind of, like, take the time to experiment with stuff a bit more than I'm used to. Ooh. There we go. So this is a color called... What is this called again? Warlord Purple by Vallejo. Ooh, this is like a very, like, rich fuchsia kind of color. It's almost neon, but I know it has no neon properties. Like, it's not going to glow in the dark. Later, we're going to use some glow in the dark paint, though. That's really nice. I like that. The thing is, I used this exact same paint as last, like, that purple that was kind of, like, pooling and like, literally falling off the model. That paint I used last week on a metallic miniature, with metallic colors as the base, and I thought that looked fantastic. This actually this kind of, like, bright, like, shocking pink kind of reminds me a little bit of artwork I saw. While I don't think this is my favorite color, I do think it's a good color for the Emperor's Children, honestly. I'm trying not to use too much paint, because we've done some levels before using, like, black and white to, like, set lights and shadows. But this paint is a bit more opaque than we're used to, so it really just has fantastic coverage. Honestly, better than I was expecting. This kind of makes me want to rethink how I approach stuff, because I've got a massive paint set, and I've got a really big airbrush paint set recently. I think it was over summer, but I've not really used most of it. But this is kind of getting me to think about different ways I want to use it. I like that. I like that a lot. It looks very peachy and red on screen. This isn't an accurate representation. It kind of looks a bit like neon pink, but it's not a neon color. I don't know why See, I don't know. I don't understand. I need to get a better document camera, because things just don't quite show up the way they actually look sometimes with this camera. It really bothers me. But you know, it's better at focusing on the miniatures than my webcam was, so I definitely think it was the right call to switch to it. But it's still a bit mad, honestly. But it was literally the cheapest one. If I save up and shell out for a good quality one, I think that really improved the quality of the stream. I'm just emptying out the remaining paint in the chamber because I'm not going to use it the rest of the day. And the next one, I think I've seen someone on Reddit use this paint recently. It's a Vallejo Alien Purple. And it's honestly quite a nice color. At least from what I saw. It's going to be quite soft, if I remember right. It's not going to be like a very crazy thick purple. Like, it's not going to be really rich and dark like some of the other purples we've used. In fact, it looks very like lilac. Yeah. Or lavender. Yeah. I'm going to need to really, like, darken this down with inks, I think, down the line to make it look right. I don't think this is going to... Yeah. Yeah, I can say that this is not... This much like that other pink I did, that really soft pink. I don't think it's enough of an eyesore to be an Emperor's Children color. It's just very soft, you know? Are you guys in chat working on anything right now, by the way? I always love to hear what you guys are working on for paint projects while I do these streams. I will happily show off stuff that people wanna see if they post it in the Discord, by the way. Because I like sharing what the community does. There's some very talented painters and builders in Discord. Yeah. God, that's a really smooth paint, honestly. That goes on beautifully. It feels great to use. It's a real shame it just seems a bit too soft for the Emperor's Children. It's not... Because the Emperor's Children are all about excess, so they want things that are really stimulating, and I feel like this... It's a very nice color. It's a really nice paint to work with. But it's just a bit too... It's not very evocative. I think it can blend in too much to really suit the Emperor's Children Legion. It doesn't assault the eye in the way that some of these other colors do. Which I think means that when a color is like that, it's definitely not what I want to use for the whole warband. Well, there's so much extra SS paint in here. I wish I could put it back in the bottle. That really annoys me. I don't like wasting paint. Like, I know I've got plenty of it, but like, because that's the first time I've used that paint, but like, still, you know, it just seems like a bit bad practice and wasteful. I don't like wasting things. What? Anyway, let's empty this out. The next thing we're going to use is Phoenician Purple. Which, I don't know how it's going to look, honestly. I've never used this paint. The Citadel paint. Come on. Get out of there. Like, maybe I didn't mix the Eidolon Purple clear enough. I know Citadel paints do have some tendency to separate in the bottle, like a lot, so maybe that's why. So I'll just use the mixer again and try and get these mixed better. Anyway, Venetian purple. This again looks like it's going to be like a very light, pale, lavenderish color, but not quite as bright as the last one we used. But actually, no, it looks quite a bit darker. This might be the right kind of purple I want to use, honestly. In fact, this is the same purple, which is the only purple we have in Space Marine 2, so it should be a perfect kind of purple for what we're using, like a nice, rich, almost imperial purple. So this is probably gonna look really good. I hope it will. Maybe it needs a darker undercoat. Yeah, this is a nice purple. It's not as dark as I thought it would, but like when I get a wash on it, it'll probably look perfect. I think Eidolon Purple Clear is a better color though. I also think Leviathan is a much richer color. Honestly, I'm surprised at how soft this one is. I think maybe if I use this over a dark finish, it might look a lot nicer. Instead of like a mostly white base coat. God. This paint goes really far, actually. It has great coverage. Again, I'm using a lot of these paints for the first time, and I'm just having a good time using them. They just do a lot of work with very little effort. Fortunately, this is not a dropper bottle paint, so the excess I can just literally just tip back into the bottle. Which is always nice, honestly. Always nice not to have to waste stuff. Yeah. I don't think this is it for me. It's a nice purple, though. I think if I used that in combination with, like, a more vibrant pink, it could work. But I don't know that that's... I don't know. I don't know that that's worth the effort compared to some of these, which are, like, perfect straight out of the bottle. You know? Because, like... we only have so much time in the day. Hell, I only have enough time to do all my painting across a week on these hobby streams. Like I don't really have a chance to do anything else. So I don't get much time to practice, honestly. But I'm gonna make more time. I need to do more book reading stuff because I know. Oh, hang on, what happened here? How did this come off? The nozzle cap for my airbrush came off. How did that happen? The next thing I'm gonna do is gonna go back to the is gonna go to the inks, but I think I want to go back to that Eidolon Purple Clear and try and fix that miniature. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do first. It does mean I'm probably gonna have to dip the actually no, that's all cleaned out nicely. Ah, I did that. This is going a lot quicker than last week's stream. Which is also always just... but then again, I had a lot of scuff last week because my airbrush kept clogging because I'd not really used the paints for a long time. I'm going to try another pass with Eidolon Purple Clear on that other miniature. I'm going to try very, very light amount of paint. I really love this color, by the way. Like, this is one of my favorite paints to work with. It's just such a very nice pigment, more than anything. Like, it just looks fantastic when it decides to actually work. to adjust neck on. Oh god! Oh, thank fuck. I tipped over the paint chamber. Just a little... Yeah, this is more like it. Just a tiny little bit to really just nail on the color, get it looking the right tone. And I'm hoping that it's gonna stay like that. But I hope you guys see why I like this. Like, it's just a very nice color. It's just a very nice color. Every time I've used it, I've liked the results. Tiny bit of pooling there. Oh shit. Fuck it. It pulls, it pulls. I'm just gonna see what happens. Maybe what I'll do, I'm sorry for the noise, is I'll accelerate the drying. Make sure it doesn't do stuff I don't want it to do. So I'm sorry if there's a lot of noise in the background. I'm just gonna quickly use an air dryer, a hair dryer to like accelerate the drying. Also, my tracking has died again. Wow. Oh, hang on, this isn't even plugged in. Wow. Say hi to chat, Kong.
Hi, chat.
Yeah, I am working on different pinks and purples. Okay, we can have Pisma. Metal says hi.
Hi, Metal.
Okay, well, the little blast of the hairdryer. This is hopefully gonna be okay. It's already looking kind of dry. It's still a bit glossy because it's not 100% dry, but like I don't want to make it natural. I don't want it to unnaturally dry because too much, because sometimes that causes problems from what I've seen. Like it can sometimes make the surface crack, which honestly might be quite a nice effect, but that's not what I want right now. Okay. Next, we are going to work on... We're going to do the 2 ink mixtures. So we're going to layer on the blue first. Then my plan is to use the red to tint it and highlight the blue into a sort of like bright-ish color, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I've never done this before, so... I mean, I feel like I kind of did it, but I don't know how it's gonna work. I did something similar to this last time. That's a very... That's very blue, holy shit. Maybe I should just mix them in a cup. No. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'd like there to be contrast in the hue as well as the brightness. The real question is, do I want to put the red on it while it's still wet? Or do I want to let this just do its own thing for a bit? I'm going to just let some basic air just blow around and move some of this ink while it's still wet. I think I might have put a bit too much on here. But that's okay. Oh, that's really... Like, it's not really tinted it, but like... very subtle. It's a lot more subtle than I thought it was going to be. Right, there's literally nothing left in there. So while that dries, I'm going to move on to the next paint, which is... I'm going to do the other blue ink on the other guy. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a much stronger pigment, because I've used this before on the demon prints, and it completely changed the color of the whole model. But maybe the air pressure wasn't high enough then. I did notice that, like, when I looked online afterwards and tried to get some advice, yeah, people said that I might have needed more higher air pressure on the airbrush. But later, I'm going to use this very bright red over the top of that blue, which hopefully should act as a nice little filter and turn it purple. I'm hoping I get similar results. Deadfire! How you doing? Hi, you having a nice day? Thank you for joining us. It's always lovely to see you. Ow. I smacked my head on my thing. Why is my tracking scuffed? What? Hey, Nukin, how you doing? How are you doing? Let me fix my tracking. Purple, the best color ever. Facts. Oh, I see. It's because B Bridger is shit. Lol. God, I love what V Bridger is capable of, but sometimes it just wants to die. And when it decides that enough is enough, it just doesn't work. Which, of course, it doesn't. It's literally crashed, lol. I am unscuffed, kind of. Am I? I am. Yay! No more scuff. For now. There will probably be more scuff later, let's be honest. This is a tiger stream. Is there ever really a tiger stream without scuff? I don't think there is. I would like to say that I have scuffless streams, but we all know that I'd just be lying to both you and me. Well, I stare into the void when I look at chat because it's on a different screen. But yeah. And, I mean, it's on a different table. And, like, when I look this way, I'm looking at this. And then, when I look that way, I'm looking at chat. You guys got home from fun trip. And now you declare a desire rest. Oh, well, I hope you have a lovely, lovely, relaxing time. Scuff for the scuff throne. Thank you. My throne is built on scuff, which means one day it will collapse right out from under me and it'll be hilarious for everyone except me. Oh. Wow. So this is the ink that basically became the color we used for our demon prints of the word bearers. That was a couple months ago we painted that. So I reckon this will be really dark. Yes, it's such a strong pigment. Look at that. Look at that, chat. It's so much better than what we were using before. Holy shit. God, that's a gorgeous blue. That is a gorgeous blue. Holy shit. Look at that. That's going to become such a nice purple eventually. I hope. Now, one thing I think these AK Interactive pots ink pots have right is that they're both, not only are they a dropper bottle, but they also have a screw cap, so you can pour excess paint right back in, which I'm a big fan of. State! Welcome, welcome! How was your stream? Hi! Welcome, Froggo the Froggo. How was your stream, State? Did you have fun? Welcome, welcome, Raiders. I'm Tiger. I am a variety streamer. I focus on Warhammer because it's one of my big passions. I do a lot of game streams. I play with chat. I do book reading video content on YouTube. I just a silly little goof that has a lot of scuff. Hi. What were you up to? You were playing Helldivers. Very nice. But yeah, we're painting some Warhammer today. Trying to find the perfect purple for our Emperor's Children army. And a nice pink as well, I suppose. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of different things. We've still got a lot of miniatures to try to test out colors on. Here's what we've done so far. My desk is a mess. We've only done 6 so far, but we're just testing out base colors to see what we think looks nice. You were playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag on PS4. Oh my god. And your parents wanted to play Minecraft on it. They kicked you off of Black Flag to play Minecraft. Oh my god. I mean, I think that's hilarious, but fuck. Imagine getting kicked off your console by your parents. Jesus Christ. Oh, Deadfire, I'm so sorry. You're 3 away from 50 followers. That's so nice, State. I hope you get. Everyone should go follow State if you haven't already. He is a good bean. Okay. This red is very dark. It's not meant to be this dark, is it? Oh, there we go. Wow. I think I'm gonna have to layer over that blue. Oh, maybe not. So this is Vallejo Game Air Red ink. And it's a lot more red than I would have liked. But to be fair, it did look very rad. It does kind of have some nice stuff where it mixed with the blue. I'm gonna have to go over this with the blue again, I think. There's some nice pink undertones in here. But this is not what we want to go for. We're gonna go over that again. But you know, that's all this is about, chat. It's all about experimentation and trying to find what works for what we want. And, you know, things aren't always going to go right. Or the way we plan. Especially when you're using new things that you've never used before. Froggo the Froggo, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you have a lovely time in this community. Actually, you know, now that this is drying a little, it's kind of becoming this sort of, like, purplish pink, fuchsia-ish, like... Yeah. I don't know how to describe this color, honestly. It's not quite red, it's not quite pink, it's not quite anything. It's kind of like in between. But we'll see how it goes. I need to clean out this paint chamber. Oh, this tissue is falling apart. There's so much paint on these tissues. It's all awful, lol. Long ago, child me thought my parents would play Minecraft so that they'd join me and not tell me to stop playing. It was the smartest idea ever. Yeah, it was, actually. That sounds like a lovely time. Like, that sounds like such a family fun kind of game. And then they just become addicted to Minecraft, lol. I think that's hilarious. And like, there's no way to look at that as not being funny. I think at least. Like... Ooh, that's a nice magenta. Ooh, this is mixing perfectly. I just realized I'm in the way of the light. I like that. It's not... I don't think this is what I'm going to use for most things, but like, that's not a bad color. I think a similar effect could be achieved with Sigvald Burgundy and Blue Oil Wash, if I want to be honest. But that's not a bad color. I like that. I like that. I like that you get a lot of blue undertones in the shadows. And I like that this guy is actually meant to be Quarantoon, who was formerly a word bearer, so I like that there's quite a lot of red in the tones. Plan failed successfully. Yeah, they're addicted to play almost daily still to this day on one world. Oh, that's so cute, though. They have a little house that they built together. Have they killed the Ender Dragon yet? God, I'm talking about this like I don't know anything about Minecraft, lol. That is cute, though. Like, that sounds like you've done like, I know it wasn't your plan, but it sounds like you've given your parents a wonderful gift, Deadfire. Like... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. The dropper tip for this ink rolled into one of the miniatures and stained the leg. That's gonna be really annoying. If I can get... Just no one will ever know. Lol. And other lies I tell myself. My god, this AK ink is... so far, from what I've learned, is that Vallejo inks are kind of a bit mid. But they're not bad. They're just not as good as, like, AK and Liquitex inks so far. Wordbearer, I might be wrong, but they are traitors. They are the art traitors. They orchestrated the Horus Heresy and corrupted many other legions. They were the first heretics and were the first people to commune with the Chaos Gods of the Imperium. And in the book Lord of Excess, Quarantoon was a wordbearer who was so depraved that he was going to be killed by his own people. But the Emperor's children were like, hey, no, he's fine, come with us, lol. And they saved him, but he was a dick, lol, so he dies. Spoiler alert. If you'd like to hear more about that story, why don't you head over to my YouTube, youtube.com/@TigerTiger, and you can listen to the entire book that I read, lol. No one will ever know, said live on Twitch with witnesses. Shush. You guys will keep my secret, right? Yeah, you'll keep my secret. You won't rat me out, will you? Yeah, no, fuck this. This blue is shit. This blue is actually shit. It's annoying me now. Actually annoying me. This is like this is hands down the worst paint I've ever used. It does nothing. It literally does nothing. Never again. Never again. There we go. Now he looks a bit more purple. And we still get little bits of, like, muddy pink coming through as well. Again, I don't think that's what I'm going to do, but I want to keep all these experiments in different colors, because I think it's important to, like, first of all, it helps them all look a bit more individual. Emperor's children, are they traitors too? Yes, they are the Third Legion, who get corrupted to Slanesh, the god of excess and sensation and all kinds of horrible shit. The god of, also the god of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, so, you know, they know how to have a good time. They know how to have a good time. Okay, so that's the first 8 done. Just put the camera there so we can see. As we can see, we've got quite a nice variety of different colors. But there's even more we can do. I don't know if I want to do the brush paints with contrast first. If I want to do the neon stuff, chat. What do you want to see? Neon or contrast paints? Because I'm going to do both eventually. It's more a matter of which one I do first, lol. I think neon. Neon would be quite cool. So I'm going to pick the ones I want to do in neon first. I'm going to pick 5 guys. I think I'm going to pick these guys, who are some kill team operatives. One of them is... No, I won't do that guy. Because these guys are actually a full kill team on their own. Yeah, neon kill team. I'm going to do this guy in this purple. I'm going to do this guy in pink. And then I'm going to do this guy in magenta. And then I'm going to do the same thing we did before, but with fluorescent blue, and then do fluorescent pink over. And these paints are very special paints, because when I shine this black light on them, they glow in the dark. So they're going to be really, really cool. We want Neon Tiger, level 9,999 pretty. Okay, Neon Tiger, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to start with the purple, just because it's going to be the easiest. And then we'll do the pink. No, then we'll do the blues, and then we'll do the pinks, because we're going to use the pinks on multiple things. Then after that, we'll do some brush on contrast paint. And that'll kind of be the main objective of the stream done. Next, I don't know if you want to see it, but I might start kit bashing my my demon prints on stream. It's not going to be too much of a kit bash, honestly. But it should be fun. A fun build, if nothing else. I'm going to be using Lorkavai, Mother of Nightmares from Age of Sigmar, who I think looks a bit Emperor's Children-y, really. Is there any paint left in this chamber? I don't think so. Oh, there is. Just a smidge. I'm gonna make sure that this paint is mixed up thoroughly, actually. Just before I start fucking shit up and making a mess. Where is my mixer? There is my mixer. Wait, a moment ago you were talking about Warhammer books in YouTube. You've run out of YouTubers to listen to while trying to sleep. Yeah, I basically read Warhammer books on YouTube. I started doing it on stream, but I realized that, like, the book reading streams don't do so well for me in terms of viewership, so I thought, you know what, I'll do it off stream. It's my only real specific for YouTube content that I do. So I've got 2 books. I've only done 2 books. The first is The Lion Son of the Forest. The second is Renegade's Lord of Excess. I was gonna start Eidolon the Auric Hammer today because I got the limited edition version. But I accidentally fell asleep. Well, So yeah, that's the plan, is to start that tomorrow night. Try and get a chapter 2 or 2 done. And basically try and put out a video every single day, if I can. Maybe occasionally have a 1-day break, but that's how I like to do book readings. I am going to do Caiaphas Cain eventually. I've got the omnibus, and Discord wanted me to do Caiaphas Cain, so I am going to eventually do the Caiaphas Cain omnibus. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly obsessed with the Emperor's Children right now. Partly because, like, I've always wanted to collect them since I was a kid. And second of all, I'm a bit hyped about the fact that they're getting a release. So I'm just, like, kind of getting a head start. I'm mostly going to use them for Kill Team. And then I'm going to use them for 40k eventually. And Horus Heresy. And they're probably going to be my main army, assuming they're fun to play. But if not, then I'll have a couple of Kill Teams. And just use them in Kill Team. I like Kill Team as a game format. I've never played it, but it just looks really fun every time I watch a battle report for it. But I'm not even holding that trigger down. Okay, I might actually love this violet color. It's just a really nice color, I think. Like, it looks a bit pink on camera, but it's a little bit darker. In person, like, not much darker. It's about, like, it's sort of a cross between, yeah, it's a little, yeah. It's only 2 books, mind you. Like, but The Lion Son of the Forest is a long book. In fact, they're both quite long books. You've got, like, a good solid 50, 60 hours of content to listen to. Because there's no, like, deep diving into the lore. It's just the books. That's all. I know not everyone can afford the audiobooks or, like, the paper books. And sometimes they're just not available in certain regions. Because, like, distribution and all that shit. So that's why I do it. It's not monetized, but YouTube might slap some ads on there because YouTube is a bitch. But, you know, what's that? Let's have a look and see how he glows. My God, it's so good. Actually, let me turn off. Let me turn off the light very quickly. Fucking strobe lighting, lol. Look at that glow, though. It's so cool. I love that. The Tiger Marine. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I just really like that neon purple. Like, that might just be my standard. Like, first of all, it's just a nice purple shade. Like, I don't think it shows up very well on camera, but it's just a nice... Garlic bread, hi. I didn't fall. I will protect the... Oh, no. I did not fall. Can't prove anything. Wow. Wow. I did not fall. No, don't tell the interrogator chaplain. They'll never let me have it. They'll never let me hear the end of it. Lol. It took me a little while, then I realized you were doing a Dark Angels thing. Small! Hi! It's big, it's pink, and it's scary. Oh no. How you doing, Small? We painting some purple marines. Some purple chaos marines. And this guy glows in the dark. My whole kill team is gonna glow in the dark, and it's gonna be so fucking cool. Yes. Ah! Why? Only one of these are shared with you. It's not big or scary, lol. Just working on prep stuff. How's your D&D thing coming along, Small? I'm super excited to see it. I hope I can make it this time. Pink said she was making dinner. I think she's forgotten that she was making dinner, lol. Wow. I reckon that, yeah, this is basically going to be my, That neon purple is going to be the mainstay for my Emperor's Children. Unless my next idea looks great. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it on stream, because it's going to be a lot of, like, mixing paints and using specialist tools and stuff. I'm super excited to see how it goes, though. I'm just emptying the chamber because I can't put the paint back in the drop bottle. Can let her burn another pizza in the microwave, lol. Nearly got all the res ready. Should be able to be done sometime. Ooh, very nice. Maybe I'll be able to make it after work, lol. That'd be neat. Oh, I hope that thing you DM'd me about yesterday went okay this morning, by the way. I will not discuss it any further. My god, how is there so much paint in this chamber? I barely put any in it. My god. Okay, this, good paint. Good paint. Big fan of this paint. Like, it just goes forever. Weird and confusing is all you can say. You know, that was very much the feeling I got last night from when you DM'd me, my guy. Like, well, I hope it doesn't get any, it doesn't escalate into anything else, because I feel like, I don't know. As long as you're okay, that's the important thing to me. You fucking hate Valo. Think I'm gonna play wait, yeah, I think I'm gonna play Valorant. Oh god, I've never once in my life played Valorant. I have actually I haven't heard much about Valorant. All I know is that it's super popular. It's mid, but so many people play it. So many streamers play it as well. Like, why do people like Valorant? What is Valorant? It's just a hero shooter, right? Slim, hi. How you doing? You having a nice day? Oh, I might have put too much paint in here. So this is AK fluorescent blue. We're gonna make this guy blue, and then we're gonna make him pink to make a purple. Okay, this paint is awful. It just doesn't come out. Maybe I want to switch to a bigger needle. It just doesn't come out. It's like it's not clogged, because it is coming out. It's just not really coming out. You got your new vinyl record today, so you're so hyped. Nice, nice, nice. It's the same people who have like 10,000 hours in CS. Oh. Oh no. Didn't they just... Oh god. Oh no! Airbrush, stop. Oh no! I touched the paint while it was dry. Oh no! Oh fuck. Oh, it's on my arm. Oh fuck. I'm gonna have to repaint that guy now. I will do it at the end. Wait, which am I still using the 3? I think I am still using the 3, this 0.3 airbrush. I've been using the wrong airbrush needle this whole time, chat. Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna swap the needle out, because that's gonna make this whole experience so... Actually, no, I need the smaller needle for what I'm gonna do next. Oh! Fuck. Never mind. I've made a choice and I'm just gonna have to live with it. I also just realized I could have saved myself a bunch of time this entire stream ever since we stopped using the white paint by changing the needle. Everything could have gone so much faster. I do not like this blue. Still works with the blue. You know, fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. This paint is mid. It's annoying. Literally annoying to work with. It just takes so long. And it's like designed for this process. And it's not like the flow is bad either. It just doesn't want to fucking come out. Like, I suppose I could thin it more, but it's not designed to be thinned. It needs to just go on. The weird thing, the same company did that pink paint, which I used for the pink glow-in-the-dark paint, which I've used before, and it looked great. But this blue, apparently, I watched a video and apparently the blue is just a bit shit, which is something they've literally got on their thing, because apparently the reason why they haven't really bothered is because it's apparently really hard to get blue paint as a color to be fluorescent. But, like, I don't know. That seems like a skill issue, lol. I'm just gonna not waste any more of this slew on this. I'm just gonna make sure it all comes out. Oh, that's basically gone now. Oh no, there's still a tiny bit. Ah! Like most you have is 607, and it's a it's a payday 2. It's P. What's a PD2? PD, thank you so much for the follow. I hope you have a lovely time in our community. There are a lot of wonderful Warhammer painters and miniature painters and hobbyists in the community. So if you feel like joining Discord, you're more than welcome. I hate this paint so much. I hate it so much. I'm not using it anymore. I'm done with this paint. Fuck it. On to the Liquitex Neon Blue. This is surely going to be better. Every time I've used a Liquitex product, I've just loved using it. It just works so well, and it just makes me happy. But with AK, like, I thought AK was really good, but I think it just depends on some of their range. Like, AK inks, fantastic. AK oil paints, fantastic. AK acrylics, no, they're kind of mid. Well, but Liquitex I've mostly just used inks for, so I'm hoping that the inks are all good. Oh, Payday 2. Like, the most you have in a game is 600 and it's Payday 2. Maybe they're playing daily for a couple of years. That's fair. But also, Payday 2 was actually a good game. Though. It's so much better. The coverage on this, my god. Oh, that's just how? How is it? How it's literally like night and day going from one of these to the other. Like, fucking hell. You get so much better with that. In just a few seconds and a few short bursts, what I wanted to do on that miniature is done. And it was taking forever to do it with the other one. Like, fucking hell. I've run out of paint. I did not put enough. I forgot I was doing a second miniature in this color right after. Wow. I think I'm gonna base these guys with snow, like a snowy color. Just because I think it'll look nice. Scream at Pog to make dinner. She's streaming on the hour. That's hilarious. Okay, I'll go help Pink to make food. Well. Honk is sorting the food. Well. Okay. I think I want to start with fluorescent pink. Wait a minute, hang on. I'm sure I've got another fluorescent AK paint. Fluorescent green. Fluorescent orange, luminous orange, and fluorescent red. Thank you. I thought, oh, it must be wrong. I thought that I'd had a fluorescent purple from them as well. Oh well. That is fine. Okay. Minx the paint. Get minxed paint. Okay. I'm gonna do this big ol' axe guy with the Liquitex fluorescent pink. Now I know the AK fluorescent pink should be good because I've used it on my Gundam, and it did quite good, I thought. So, first of all, let's blast this guy. This is a very Emperor's Children-y color, I think. Like, it's just in your face and raucous and absolutely an eyesore. Those are very inky. I wonder if I need to build up the layers. Where's my black light? Fuck. Why am I losing everything? Wow. It was right here. I know it was. It was on this desk. Oh, there it is. Oh, that does not look great. I'm definitely going to need to give... I need to give this guy a good few coatings. Because, like, look at that. Actually, no, you can't look at that. Fuck. I mean, if I shine the black light nearby, you can kind of see what I mean, though. Like, much like some of the other paints, this one does not like to adhere very well. Anyway. Pisma be upon me. Thank you. I just need a little bit more of this fluorescent pink. I think I know what I'm gonna do, actually. I think I'm gonna do a couple of coats, another coat on the axe guy in this color, and then I'm gonna use the hairdryer to to dry it off to make sure it's not gonna do weird shit. Have a look again on the black light to see how this looks, because it was very shiny and blue, and now he's both shiny blue and shiny pink. Wow, I will fix my spine. Spine fixed. Okay, once I've done with this guy, I think I'm gonna have a very short munch break for food. Okay. Hair dryer on this side. Let's see, how does he look now? Still, God, this is gonna take a lot of coats. Actually, no, it's not too bad. But it's gonna take a lot of coats to get this guy looking good. The other acrylic, the other neon purple, the other neon pink I used, I think might actually be better. That's a shame. Yeah, I think it might just have better coverage, but that's okay. Not every paint has to be perfect, as much as I'd like it to be. But that's part of the process, isn't it? It's all about learning and exploring and seeing what works for us. So I reckon this is about dud paint, honestly, and this is a dud paint. But I know from previous experience that this is great. And, oh, I almost spilled that everywhere. And I know from what I've tested that this is also great. So, have a very short break while I consume this Pisma. And then we're going to get back to work on painting these guys. Then we're going to do some contrast paint tests with the last couple of guys once these are done. No. We might not have too much time left after that. Mostly because I'm got work in the morning. So I sadly can't stay up all night painting. As much fun as it would be. Okay, I'm gonna pause the VOD and begin break. Okay, and we are back from break. I'm mixing up more neon paint. And hopefully, this other pink will work a lot better than the last one. In fact, I'd say hopefully. I know it will, because, like, I've used it before. I should also put another glove on, so that I don't get loads of paint on my hands like I always do. Not that there's anything wrong with getting paint-covered hands, it's just easier to clean up when you wear a glove. Because you don't have to clean up, you just remove the glove and put it in the bin. Empty chamber is clear. Let's try this again, shall we? That's a much nicer, like, that is just a much nicer, like, flow on this thing. See what I mean? It just, like, coats stuff naturally. It made me wondered if it's something to do with, like, the air pressure. Maybe atomizing too much, so it fails to adhere. But that don't make no sense to me. Because, like, if anything, it should adhere better if it's over-atomized, right? Right? I just imagine. I don't know why I went and made sure the gun was just covered, because I'm just gonna cover that in black later anyway. I feel like I'm not. Is my audio? Let me move the microphone. There we go. Now it's in my face. Cover this guy as well, because he's not very uniformly covered in the neon. God, that looks great. Like, just neon pink. It's so just... Yes, this is definitely an Emperor's Children warband. Like, it's not their iconic look, but from the way they're described, like, neon pink is absolutely the kind of shit they would wear. I think when they were described just after Istvan meeting up with the Iron Warriors for Angel Exterminatus, they were described as having neon. Gone was the like regal pink and the regal purple and gold, instead deformed by like bright neon colors that offended the eyes. And I feel like that's just the right color to go. Am I going for gory, horrible, and disgustingly beautiful vibe, or am I going for psychedelic color schemes? I'm going for every single one of these guys has a color scheme of their own. And this isn't even the main army. This is just some basic infantry troops. I'm just experimenting with different colors of pinks to see which of my paints I actually want to use. So I'm slowly whittling it down. But I'm going for like different, like I've got some, in the last week we did a bunch of metallic pinks and purples. And I found a lot of colors I didn't quite like so much. I'm just gonna highlight this guy with this color, because I don't like the other neon pink. The other neon pink is lame. Next week, I'm going to be experimenting with the world's blackest black and neon oil paints that glow in the dark to kind of create really high contrast. But today, we're just testing different pinks. And for what I've gotten on right now is I'm just doing my kill team, my Legionaries kill team. And I'm like, you know what? Let's make the kill team stand out as like a special squad. So they're just going to be like... the whole, all 4 or 5 of them are going to be like all in neon. And the great thing about this paint is that it glows in the dark, so they're all going to be like glow in the dark legionaries, which is exactly what you want on like stealth secret missions and shit, obviously. I really like some of the blue undertones I get from mixing like pinks and blues to get purples. Like, I just think it looks nice. And hopefully it'll show up with different neon colors when I do the black light. Yeah! I like that. I like that. You can't see it so well. Can't see it so well on this camera. But maybe if I switch to the webcam, to the other webcam, and make it that bigger, it'll show up a bit better. I need to fix the chosen leader. Hang on, there's a bit of hair on this guy. I need to fix a bit of this guy. He's actually meant to be violet, but like it's not really showing through. Hopefully. I don't know how that looks, chat, but I've turned the lights off and just turned this other light off. Yes. Feel like it's a good look. You know, this neon violet I used is not nearly as bright as the rest of it, if I want to be real with you all. Maybe I'll just highlight him in pink. Yeah, I think I'll highlight him in pink. And do another coating of neon violet over under the pink from a downwards angle. So, as you weren't here earlier, let's have a look at what else we've got. So these are the other ones we tested out before. And last week, we're once again just trying out different pinks and purples and different combinations, color combinations to make them look good. Psychotic colors and that ultra terrific beauty. Like you imagined the indescribable, disgusting yet beautiful people. Like what insane best way to describe it is, you know, the philosophers speak of things that make sense, but only if you see the insanity he sees. I get that. I get that, Fract. So I kind of want to do this something similar, I think. It's going to be really hard, though. It's going to be I think it's really hard to do the Emperor's Children justice for a color scheme, in all honesty. Because they are just such, they're one of the most corrupt warband factions among the Chaos Legions, at the same time without being so obviously corrupted as a lot of the others, like the Khorne Berserkers, or maybe not so much the Thousand Sons, honestly, but like the Plague Marines and all that, and Death Guard and all that. I think the corruption of the Emperor's Children is a lot more subtle. I'm just basically going to drain the last of this neon pink, giving this guy some extra spritzers and highlights. Hopefully he'll still mostly look purple, which it looks to be the case, honestly. But I just think he should, as the chosen and the leader of the warband, he should definitely glow more. And this paint has a lot of glowy shit to it. I might do a little bit of blue underneath. No, no, I think he looks just different enough. Let's have a look at that black light again. Yeah, it's much more shiny now. Kind of want to add some... It's just a bit... I think I will add some more blue as like a reverse highlight. I wish I could put this paint back in the bottle. Me. Yeah. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll add some of this to the... I'll empty this into the shit paint. Hopefully it'll be better next time I use it. When this eventually runs out. Because I can just empty this into that. And I know, you shouldn't mix paints in the bottle, but I don't like this paint. Well... And I do like the other paint, which looks almost the same. But I know it's not. One is an ink and one is an actual acrylic air paint. Though I don't really know that there's that much difference between the two colors, honestly. Like, at least from the point of view of, like... Because they're both designed for air paints. You need a pipette. Fractor, thank you so much for the follow. Do I need a pipette? I don't think I need a pipette. Not for these, because the bottles aren't designed to be opened. I do have pipettes, though. I have plenty of pipettes. I like the word pipette. Pipette. It just sounds nice, doesn't it? Sounds nice to say. I don't know why. Like Bob. Bob is also a nice word to say. It just is very punchy. Come on. Empty the air chamber and be done. Come on, there's literally no paint left in this. Come on. Come on. I just want to swap to blue. Fuck it, I'm just going to put the blue in now. What could possibly go wrong is that it comes out a little bit purple, which is fine. I almost tipped the paint out into my lap. That would have been terrible. My god. Oh, I forgot that this was even on. Maybe aim for some Screamer pink. And put blue on the... I mean, that's the plan, is I'm just gonna use blue as a shader. But the issue is you can't really mix non-fluorescent paints without it, you know, all going wrong. Come on, where's the blue? There is blue in here. Like the airbrush chamber, the paint chamber literally has nothing but blue on it. So why is pink still coming out? There we go. Finally. My plan is just to go blast from underneath with a little bit of blue. Just to be like a sort of shade color. Mostly because this blue has a lot of luminosity under the black light. And I think it works quite well as like a high contrast shade. And it kind of tints it a bit purple. But also, I'm going to do some OSL with blue on that plasma coil at some point. But I'm going to use it with the paint I'm getting next week, because that's a very, very, very bright light color. Because I have got some Stuart Semple paints coming, and bro just makes all kinds of weird experimental paints. And I kind of discovered him a couple weeks ago and was like, I want to... If I'm going to use these on a Warhammer project, Emperor's Children is definitely that project. So I've got the World's Blackest Black coming, and I'm going to mix some neon paints into like the recess shades for it. So hopefully it'll look quite good. And this goes back into the thingy thing. Back into the pot you go. Okay. We are actually almost... How is there still pink coming out of this? What is going on? First it was all blue, then it suddenly pink came out, but there's no pink left in... You know what, I'm just gonna... I don't need the airbrush anymore, I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna... It's alright, of course, you would put the idea of dry brushing the brighter colors. Yeah, no, I like the idea of dry brushing the brighter colors. Like, this is all just test work at the minute. None of this is like how I'm going to paint the final army. It's more just to see which paints do I like, which paints do I not like, which ones work, which ones don't. And at the end, I'll show you all the ones I did last week. I'll put them all next to each other and we can kind of pick out which ones we like the most. So what I'm going to do now is I don't need this glove anymore. I don't even need the airbrush anymore for now. Because I've just got 4 more Marines to do, and I'm going to use the same contrast paints we used last week, but we used them over metallics. So these 4 guys, we're just going to paint them nice and simply with a mix of contrast paints that I know will look good, but in all honesty, I've never used these paints over a normal, like, white and grey finish. So it's mostly just to test and see how they look, honestly. I can put all these guys back here. God, using those inks made really deep purples. I kind of like that, honestly. I'm gonna later on do some oil washes when I've got all the trims and whatnot done on these. But I gotta say, it's been nice experimenting with inks and using lots of different colors I've never normally used. Some of them I like a lot, others not so much. Like, for example, I just realized my VTuber model is in the way! Wah! Like, for example, oh God, I hate that this is mirrored. Like, for example, this pink looks like a darker version of this fluorescent pink, but it looks dull by comparison. So I don't think I'm going to use that one. I do like the different, like, the way it's kind of turned out, layering lots of, like, pinks over blues. I think that's quite a nice look, honestly. I like this purple. This is just Vallejo violet ink over white and gray and black. It honestly turned out a lot nicer than I thought it would. Eidolon purple clear, always a nice color. This was Phoenician purple. I think could definitely be a bit more vivid. I should have really tried this over metallic, maybe. I'm not sure. I thought it would be a lot darker than it turned out. But Eidolon purple clear, I think, is the darker purple. I quite like this pink. It's very pastel-y and babyish. I think if I get some nice black trim on it, it would look really good. Maybe like do a bit of like black on like the shoulder pads and maybe occasionally like do a panel section in black. That'd probably look quite nice, honestly. It's a very soft pink. Idea popped up. Oh, remember your spine, Slanesh. Wah! I will give you a beam. Wah! Okay, I have many things I need to do. Many things. And the chat. What are your spaghetti? I really need to do my unboxing video and start my first read through of Eidolon. God, I don't know why this camera is mirrored. It's really annoying me. I don't know what's happened to it and why it's being like this. But it's super annoying. Blue could be shadow and purple is the midtone and then fluorescent pink. Keep building up with more vibrating color. Ooh! Yes. Yes. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. I think I'll try that on the rest of my raptors when I've got them built, because I still need to build 2 Meltagun raptors, and the squad is done, and I can't remember if I've finished off my legionary squad. I think I have. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, no, I needed to build 2 more chainsword and bolt pistol legionaries. I might try that next week. I'll probably do neon blue base. Dry brush some strong ink pigments over it. Then again, would that work? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be a bit wasteful, but it should work. And then dry brush some pink highlights over it. Then, like, add some black and gold in different plot spaces. I'm going to try that out next week. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's going to look fantastic, honestly. I think. But I love these neon colors, though. They just really pop off. Like, they don't show up quite right on, They don't quite show up quite right on the camera, but they look really nice next to everything. Like, there's just something about them that, like, they jump at the eyes that make them really stand out next to everything else. Even on the ones where the neon is a little bit more subtle and a lot less bright. I think the only ones that really can stand next to them are this incredibly dark purple here, which was an accident, but made of inks. This one, not so much. This one kind of looks a lot really muddy, and I don't like it so much. I'm not going to be using those inks ever again. Not for this, at least. I might have uses with something else maybe down the line. I quite like this one as well, honestly. Like the 1, 2, 3, plus the neons and this baby pink, I think are the ones I like the most. But now we are on to the contrast paint section. So for this, we're just going to be just doing some flat out contrast paints on thing. That next idea you've told me, I mean, I guess I could try it now. Fuck it. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick this guy. I'm going to do it on that now. But first I want to see how the contrast paint works. So I'm going to pick 3 or 4 contrast paints and just paint a different bit of it in each, I guess. That should work, right? I've got 7 paints. So I'll do these 2. Just do it like that. And then I guess I'll just slap this Leviathan purple on something somewhere. Because it's very dark. So it'll probably work with, no matter what. Then I'll do, the last thing I do is I'm going to use your idea. You challenge me to a battle if you could once you're done. I'm planning on taking this to the tabletop, both for Kill Team games and for 1,000-point battles in my local shop. But my plan is that when the Emperor's Children get their big codex release, I plan on going to the grand narrative at Warhammer World. I'm going to do a nice little cosplay as like a ship mistress or something. That should be fun. Okay. As I paint, I'm just gonna pick a bit that's gonna on each model that's gonna be Leviathan purple. I'm gonna mix these up quickly. So this is Magos purple and Volupus pink. Magos purple. I think both of these are gonna be quite bright paints, honestly. And for this lightning claw guy at the end, then I'll start him off with the neon ink, with the neon blue ink. Then I'm gonna do that purple over him. See, what do I want? Oh, I know. I'm gonna have this leg here be purple, because that way I can do the thing. This is not the right place for the light. Maybe Ghost Purple is kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it never really looks nice straight away, I don't think. I don't know if that's just me or not. But there's just something about it that just, like, doesn't quite look right. I don't know if it's intentional or not in how the paint was designed, but I don't think this is a color I'm going to use, honestly, for a lot. But again, these models that we're painting now, before pre-release of the official release of the Emperor's Children, it's more just to see what paints will work and what we're gonna like to do in the end. In fact, yeah, I don't like this color at all. I think I'm just gonna leave this leg as the only bit I use it on. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Lol. Bye, Magos Purple. Become forgotten. I might use it as an undertone for skin tones, honestly. I do think it would work well as an undertone, but not as a primary color. I'm sure. I think it'll be fun. Like, the thing about the narrative, the grand narrative games, and what I think is cool, is that it actually affects the universe of Warhammer 40,000. like, there is this whole thing that happens, like, in it, where it dictates how, I think it mostly affects the kill team narrative. You know, for a pink, this is very dark. I do like it, though. I don't dislike this as a color. Very fuchsia-y. I think gold will go quite well with it. Always remember when using contrast paints to do your best to make sure the brush strokes all go the same way. Otherwise it's going to look a bit weird. Actually, I don't like Volupus Pink either. Volupus Pink is kind of mid. Fuck it, the rest of it, once I finish this main body, the rest of it is going to be Leviathan Purple. Because I know Leviathan Purple looks good, lol. See, everything looks so much better. All of these contrast paints looked so much better when I was painting it in metallic. I mean, I don't know if that sounds weird, but it's true. Like painting, like colors that don't look good normally look great over metallics for contrast paints, I've noticed. But sometimes they just don't. And again, I didn't think these looked good at the time when I was painting them last week with these colors. But when they dried, they kind of looked good. But I just don't think this looks good at all. Oh well. You can be a fugly guy that keeps his helmet on for reasons, lol. That's this guy's lore. When was that Warhammer Fest? It's gonna be in... Wait, you mean the Grand Narrative? It's every year in November. I can't go this year, though, because I forgot about it, so I can't get the time off work, lol. But yeah, so it is every year in November. Then they've also got Warhammer Day, like the big Warhammer Day event. They don't normally do it every year, though. But that always looks like it's worth going, especially if you get a golden ticket, because the golden ticket people basically get, like, tons of free shit from Warhammer World. I've never been to Warhammer World. I really want to go someday. I think it'd be a really nice, like, experience. Just a fun day out. I know Froggy PhD, who's a VTuber friend of mine, sometimes does meetups at Warhammer World, so I might pop along and see her someday. Be fun. She seems like good people. And it would be nice to meet up. I will T-pose on her to establish dominance, lol. One day, I hope I'm good enough to actually confidently say, I'm gonna go and try Golden Demon someday. I'm a long way off that, though. But every now and then, I'll just try something new, and it'll either work out really well or work out badly. And little by little, learn a bit more about how to paint well. One day, we'll be able to paint something that we can genuinely say we're proud of. We're a fair bit away from doing that, but like, it'll happen eventually. I'm sure of that. But one thing I'm very happy about is how generally efficient my process for painting usually is. Because it always doesn't take very long. I don't know if that's because I just speed paint everything. Well, get in that bit. Stupid paint. Wow. I put these like Roman numerals from Green Stuff World on bits of the miniatures, and I've just realized when you're trying to brush paint them, they're a bit of a pain, because like, brush doesn't quite fit between the spaces in the Roman numerals. Oh, damn it. Same here. You forgot about it. Besides, you've been working hard building a life for myself. So the whole hobby had to take a backseat in a way. You know, that's understandable. I've kind of only recently gotten back into Warhammer in the past couple of years, and that was after like a 20-odd year break from the hobby. Because I used to play when I was a little kid. It's much nicer going into it when you're like an adult though and can actually afford this stuff, and you've got the disposable income to feed your plastic crack and paint fume addiction. But like, oh my god, is there never enough time? Never enough time in the day. A week rather. You know, I'm pretty sure that I'm probably not gonna go with these contrast paints. I genuinely feel like the contrast paints are actually the worst kind of way to paint Emperor's Children. Which is annoying because I like to use contrast paints to speed things up quickly. Like, it's how most of my Sisters of Battle and my Word Bearers are painted. And my Dark Angels. But I think the colors just... The contrast paints don't really work with the Emperor's Children in the same way. Maybe it'll look a lot different when I get, like, the metallics done and then oil washes, highlights, and all this stuff. I mean, we're only really trying to see what the basic colors look like and whether or not we like them. I can safely say that right here and now, not super keen on it. Not super keen. And even Leviathan Purple, I like Leviathan Purple as a contrast normally. But, I don't know, I just don't think it really suits, like, Chaos Space Marines in the same way. I don't know why. It just... I don't vibe with it. Which is a shame, because, yeah. Like, Leviathan Purple is a great paint and a good color. And yet, I just think it looks a bit shit on these miniatures. I don't know why. I think everything also did definitely look better over metallic as a base kind of thing. Yeah, it is all... I mean, ultimately, like, painting is all subjective and it's all down to the individual and what you as a painter like. I don't think that this is what I'm going to go for. I think I'm actually going to have to upskill myself as a painter in order to paint the Emperor's Children in a way that I'm going to be fully satisfied with if I'm not just making everything fucking neon eyesore, lol. But I like the idea about doing everything as a neon eyesore. I like that. Oh, I can't wait to see what the narrative is going to be for the Emperor's Children when they come back, though. That's the thing I hope is going to be really interesting more than anything else. Because, like, what is Fulgrim doing? I know Fulgrim is pissing off Abaddon. Because he's just, like, raiding Black Legion shit with the Ark of Omen he got given. Like, yeah, we'll help you. Lol. Immediately raids all of Abaddon's supplies in the Imperium Nilius and takes over a bunch of shit. It's almost like Abaddon might have been a bit naive to think that the Emperor's Children would be on his side after he destroyed their fucking homeworld of Harmony in the Eye of Terror. That would be funny. Yeah. God, why do I not like that? I should like it, but I don't. Like, I like that paint on other things, just not on these miniatures, and I don't know why. And it's the color that should suit them more than anything. Anyway, let's move on. Now, I know that Luxian Purple is going to look good. I wonder if Doomfire Magenta will. Doomfire Magenta is quite bright. And Luxium Purple is kind of... I don't know, it's not dark, but it's not bright either. I think I'm going to use Doomfire Magenta on this shoulder pad and the arms. Very... Ooh, it's looking very red right now, but I know that's not the end color. See, this is an okay paint. I like Doomfire Magenta. I reckon what I'm really going to like is Sigvald Burgundy. I reckon that's going to be a nice color. Because I've only seen Sigvald Burgundy over Metallic, and I really like Sigvald Burgundy over Metallic. Actually, no, that's not true. I use Sigvald Burgundy for the cloaks of my Death Shroud Terminators for my Death Guard. I really like that color. It's probably going to look really fantastic on the next one. I'll do the power pack in Doomfire Magenta as well. I really like mixing Horus Heresy equipment with Chaos Space Marine stuff. I just think it looks good together. It's almost like it was kind of designed to kit bash between them. The hope is that the Emperor's Children brings in more of the psychedelic and mental messed up things with the warp, kind of playing around with the question of what the warp will do to people's minds, really. I hope so, but I think they're gonna mostly focus on more physical body horror things. I don't know, that's just the way I feel like Games Workshop has been leaning to lately. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. You know, just so I don't forget, I'm going to put these 3 paints in my paint box so that while I'm working on the Emperor's Children, I know that I don't want to use those ever again. Same with these paints, actually. These can get in the bin as well. I think I'll do the other arm. Do the other arm and Doomfire Magenta. Yeah, I quite like Doomfire Magenta. It's a good color. It's just a good color. Like, it works well as far as contrast paints go. I remember originally, before I realized how dark it was, using it as like bloody organs and stuff on my Poxwalkers. I realized immediately that I had to like tone that shit down with like muddy shit and maybe do some soft pink highlights to make it look good. But like on armor, I don't really need to care nearly as much because like it's artificial. It can be whatever I want it to be. Thanos voice. Reality can be whatever I want it to be. Yeah, I like Doomfire Magenta. It's good paint. Good paint. What other paints do I want to get rid of, honestly? I don't think I'll use Phoenician Purple. That was pretty mid, honestly. Everything else was kind of just a mix of ink. I think I don't want to use the blue ink. I might use squid pink. Not these inks. Wait, I know, I need to get back to painting. Wow, I'm getting distracted by random admin crap while I'm trying to organize thinking about how I want to paint in the future. Wow. Anyway, let's do Luxium Purple on this guy. Okay, Nukan. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. That pink works right. Yeah. It's a good thing. Agree, you just want to see more horror in the setting. Does that make sense? I mean, you've read and listened to stories of the warp is a horrible place, Imperium forbids it because of destructive powers. But I actually have not fully seen the horror of it until some recent games. You know, that's fair. I've not really seen... I think they more explore it in the books than anything else rather than the miniatures. I mean, I think the most body horror, or the most, like, horrific kind of stuff in terms of miniatures has shown up as, the Gene Stealer, like, the messed up Gene Stealers on Necromunda, the, Mal strain. But even then, they're not really warp-related, they're just more that they've been nuked into oblivion and have mutated and adapted and become deformed monstrosities even among Gene Stealers and Tyranids. The point where the hive rejects them. Kind of crazy to think about. Ooh, Luxian purple is such a nice color. It works so well. Like, it's just nice. Like, it's not super intense, but it is. Like as far as contrast paints go, I feel like Luxian purple really, like, is just a well-made paint. Like, it always, like, fills in the gaps really nicely. And it doesn't oversaturate, but it doesn't undersaturate either. It just kind of has, like, the best balance. What kind of stuff have you seen in recent games, honestly? Because I don't think I've really explored much. Though the most horror story I've had has been when I took my word bearers out to the game against World Eaters, and they got tabled in the first turn. Because my opponent was running some bullshit fights first, does a 50 million attacks on turn 1. Oh, and my squads of possessed with feel no pains were just dead. That was a long time ago though. God, that was such a feels bad game. I literally didn't get to do anything other than deploy my army and then deep strike some obliterators into the back line who just did nothing because, like, the game was basically over by turn 2. God. And that's not really a horror story. That's just a guy fucking min-maxing the fuck out of Wild Eaters. Which, you know, I appreciate a min-maxer, but, like, bro, we're playing 1,000-point casual games. Like, I just bring Imperial Knights and just blow you off this fucking table from the other side of the board. I will do that shit. No, I won't. I don't like doing that. I just like Imperial Knights because I like big robots. Big robots fun. Yes. See, Luxian Purple kind of looks like a slightly colder version of Eidolon Purple Clear, honestly. I think that's why I like it. So it contrasts really well with the Doomfire Magenta, because you've got that, like, cold to hot tones. Okay. Now this guy is going to be Dreadful Visage, which is a very pale, almost white purple, grayish purple. Which I think will look quite nice in contrast to Sigvald Burgundy, which is very rich and high saturation. Like a very deep reddish purple. And then, on this Lightning Claw Chosen guy, who's actually the Screamer for my Nemesis Claw Kill team, I used the head of the Emperor's Children Praetor from Horus Heresy. Because I was like, I don't really want to have a discount... Conrad Kurz in my group, so I'm just gonna, you know, change his head out and some of his parts out. What? Oomst. Whom's shooting my ear? Anonymous. Is that Reaper? It's usually Reaper, but I know it's not always Reaper because someone else has started to do it lately. Wow. Wow. Oops. Oops. Confess. Confess your crimes. Crimes against being kind. The Watcher in the Dark, which is a short story about a warp creature that's not one of the phantoms, but a semi-god. Oh, wait. That's the changeling who's exploring the rock, right? One horror type is what the Nurgle ones look. I like how they looked all horrible and horrific. They were no longer humans. Yeah, and they didn't even realize that they were changing just by being on the ship and passively absorbing the corruption. And then, like, the guy realized, hang on, he can't talk properly because he has no fucking jaw. He's just become a poxwalker. There's a bit of me that feels like Dreadful Visage could work, but I don't think this is, yeah. I don't think this is gonna work. It might work for the helmet though. I think I'll pile it on really strong on the helmet. That kind, and then just like do the rest in oh, I've done this arm, I might as well just keep it going. Yeah, I don't think Dreadful Visage is gonna work. I'll see how it dries though. But yeah, the changeling mimics Azrael, and then he sees a Watcher in the Dark, and then is like fucking shit scared when he realizes what a horrific warp entity it is. What's weird is that the Watchers in the Dark were part of the Xenos Cabal as well. I wonder if Eldrad Ulthuan knows what the Watchers in the Dark are, because they've never really been in the same story, but they almost certainly know each other. Almost certainly. Because they would, like, he would have had interaction with the species. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this guy almost entirely in Sigmund Burgundy. Sorry, by the way. Kind of ruins the whole text. You wanted to answer so as fast as possible. That's okay. You can take your time. I'm not going anywhere yet. Like, I'm still going to do your idea for this lightning claw guy once I finish this guy off. And that's going to take some time, honestly, because I'm going to have to wait for him to dry between things. I also need to clean out my airbrush again. Oh. Wow. Airbrush hell. It's not the airbrush, it's just the cleaning of the airbrush is the problem. It's not a problem, it's just a fucking chore that I hate. God. Riddled with typos. I understood what you meant, though. I understood what you meant. But I've heard of both of those stories. They seem really cool. I think Weshammer, if you like YouTubers, I know Weshammer likes to do I think he's got a playlist of Warhammer horror stories, which he's collected. He's a nice lore YouTuber if you want like about an hour long content to listen to. They're not all that long, but some of them are quite long. He likes to do his attempt at voice acting, and he's all right. He has a firm grasp of the lore. I'm not super keen on his voice though, but that's just me. He sounds very young, and I feel like Warhammer is very much an old person's thing for the most part. So it's just a bit weird to my ears. Especially as someone who grew up in the country where Warhammer was, you know, invented, and have been playing it since I was a kid. Boomer's speaking long. Pretty much, like, most of my favorite YouTubers sound a lot older. Like, all of my favorite lore YouTubers all sound like they're people in their 30s and 40s, and like, yeah. It's just, I feel like it's a quality that lends itself to narration in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. But I do like Wes Hammer's storytelling. He has a lot of nice tales in his collection on YouTube, and they're all like real things. He basically does he basically just takes official lore and shortens it and adds a little bit of analysis into it, which I kind of get, honestly. Sometimes people want to have a brief snippet, whereas me, I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to read this book in its entirety and provide no analysis and just give you the story, because like you're smart enough to like pick it apart yourself if you want to, right? I don't have to do that for you, right? I'm just lazy and tired, and I'm a millennial who has no time or energy to do anything, so like I just do what I think is fun with the time I have. Yeah, Sigvald Burgundy is a great little paint. Big fan. I do wish I had, like, it's just very rich, what I like. I do think that if I could apply this with an airbrush, I'd like it more. But it's quite, I mean, it's a contrast, so it's not thick, and yet it feels thick. And I think you can sometimes see the brush strokes in it. I don't know if that's me being a shit painter, or if it's the paint and it possibly drying out, because I have had this paint for a good, like, year or so now. You meant I'm the boomer. Shush. Shush. Yes, but shush. God. I need to have a free run avatar, and I'll just be like Boomer Elf. Oh, but then I'd have to play Eldari or Drakari. I mean, Drakari look fun, but, like, I have skill issues, lol. I tried to play one of those more fragile armies in the Systems of Battle, and I just realized I just die all the time. I want something that's going to stand on the table and not immediately fall off it when the opponent looks at me. Which I guess is why I gravitate more towards power armor type units with multiple wounds. Mika, hi, how are you doing? You do enjoy the story of the Emperor's Children, but your favorite Chaos Dudes are the Night Lords only because they contradict themselves. Also, Iron Warriors seems to be the most non-corrupted. Kind of. But like, they literally just cut bits of themselves off that mutate and replace it with like bionics. But I don't know that they're not corrupted. I think it'd be naive. I mean, have you heard of the Demonculaba? Like, bruh. I'm not going to talk about it on Twitch, but bruh, Google that shit if you haven't heard of it, because it is fucked up. It is the grimmest, darkest thing. Well, one of the grimmest, darkest things in Warhammer 40,000. And it is full of chaos corruption. Yeah, the Demonculaba. It's an Iron Warriors thing and how they create new Space Marines. It's really fucked up. You was chilling with Demi and peeps. Oh, that sounds nice. Okay. Right. Now I'm gonna do your idea. First I'm gonna spray this guy in blue. Then I'm gonna dry brush the violet over it. Then I'm gonna dry brush the pink very lightly over the violet. And hopefully we'll have a very cool, very unique, vibrant, little chaos dude. Is my hope. Oh, I should probably move all of these guys off the fucking out of this airbrush area so that I don't accidentally spray them in blue shit. Oh, fuck it. I don't need these. Wait, did I mix up my blues? Was this not the good blue? Oh god, it wasn't the good blue. Shit, I mixed up my good blue. The shit blue. I must have. I'm pretty sure I did, yeah. I think the AK, yeah. There we go. Wait, why are you turning pink now? I'm so confused. God. There we go. Do I think the most mentally stable? I don't think any Chaos faction is mentally stable. I think that goes against their nature. They all got their own problems. But then again, the same could be said for all Space Marines in general. You'll just need therapy. All Space Marines need therapy. Facts. Okay. Okay, that's the blue bit done. I'm gonna wait for that to dry a minute. But you gotta agree, man. Demons are not to be worshipped. They're just batteries. I don't know. I think it depends on your point of view, really. Like, the Chaos Gods are functionally deities. Functionally, that's just how they work. And I don't think it can be denied. Like, they are... Like, they're not great things, but they do exist. And it's like, when you die, you go into the warp and your soul is feasted on by demons. You don't really get a choice. So, like, you really think it's sensible to, like, deny that fact if it's where you're going anyway? Or would you rather, like, hopefully be in their good graces and not fucking get fucked up by it? Because that's why a lot of word bearers are the way they are. Because they're just like, well, I don't want to get eaten by demons when I die. So I guess if I'm on their side and I make them happy, then they're less likely to do that. Like, some of them just like do it because it's like a means to an end, and the end is, you know, not an infinite afterlife of torture and being devoured slowly over and over again by demons until there is nothing left of them, you know? And I feel like that's kind of understandable. They're just trying to escape literal hell, which is the only afterlife they know. And it's an afterlife that's proven to exist by, you know, the warp being the warp. So, yeah. I mean, kinda hard to, like, say that they're kind of in the wrong, but that's just me. That's just me. I need to find a driver. So I'm going to quickly turn around and snap. Here is my... Oh, it's fine. So it's okay if it falls. This is going to be the brush I use for the big dry brush over the whole model. And... where? Yes. Yeah, this one. And this is going to be what I use for the highlights. So... one should get nice coverage over the whole thing, and the other should just get nice coverage where I need it. Okay. Right. Let's get a little palette sorted to put some purple in. Neon purple. Of course the elders did the... But you're willing to argue this. The Necrons had gods and decided to turn an eldritch being into shards of empowered... You know, that's fair. But those are gods of the material plane. Like, then it's not quite the same. And, like, I don't think the Catan had nearly as much power as the Chaos Gods, even at their height. Because the Catan can't interact with the warp. The warp is just raw emotion from several species. You know? Okay, that should work. Was this kind of what you had in mind for, like, how it would work? I feel like it's doing okay, honestly. I might have waited for the paint to dry a little bit more before I started this, actually, in hindsight. But, you know, I kind of like the idea that it's not super consistent. Like that bit there, where some of the paint had just come right off, it just looks a bit more like battle damage. Which I like the idea of. I can just do that little bit in black later. What? Pepis, hi! Why would you do that? What? How are you doing? Can we get a shout out for Peps, please? Hi, Sliv. Yeah, I don't think the Catan gods can be really compared to the Chaos gods, because, like, warp creatures are one thing, but, you know, giant cosmic entities that eat stars are a very different kind of deal. I don't think the Catan are really gods so much as they are just powerful, strong, ancient creatures. I mean, they literally just eat stars, don't they? So, I mean, yeah. It's not quite the same. I'm going to use the hairdryer to accelerate the drying process on this guy, who is the last miniature we are going to do tonight. You good? You just got in? How goes painting? Well, we've just painted... We're just still testing different purples, so we've got a lot done. We've got 16, and we're about to do the finish off the 17th miniature. You've got some of these are in fluorescent pink. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm not using the airbrush, I can put them all back here. And you can see them all. Some of them are in fluorescent pinks and purples. So they glow in the dark, which I'm a big fan of. Or if I just shine a black light on them. They are the Coom Marines. I mean, what? So yeah, lots of progress. Some of these colors I really like, some of them I don't. So we're kind of just narrowing what we're going to use for the final thing. Next week I'm going to do another stream doing something similar, but with some very, very different materials. Which I'm super excited to see. I'm really excited to see how they work, because, I mean, yeah. I've been from the description and what I've seen of one of these paints, it's a black so black that it just devours light. Because it has, like, less than 0.5% reflectiveness, which is insane. So, like, and I've seen it on miniatures, and it just, like, there's no light reflecting off of it. It's, like, so matte. But I'm gonna quickly use this hairdryer to dry this off. Hey, Vex! Lol, the Goon Marines. I mean, you can call them that, but they look fucking fabulous. Look at how goony these guys are. They literally glow under a black light. That's how much these guys goon. Just like you, for real, for real. I honestly quite like it. And there's this guy. God, doing the blue underneath the pink is definitely the right choice, I think, for the fluorescent. Yeah, I think it's definitely the way to go. It looks so good. You're worried what you did to make them glow? What I did to make them glow under the black light. I used AK Interactive, acrylic V3, 3rd gen, fluorescent blue, and fluorescent magenta. And also Vallejo Game Color Fluorescent Violet. But these two are the really strong pigments for glowing in the dark. I'm very excited to try my fluorescent oil paints next week. Lots of Coom. No, we know you could. Okay, anyway, I'm going to use this hairdryer. I'm sorry for the noise. I hope it's not too noisy. I just want to get this guy nice and dry so we can do the final layer on him. That was quick. Well, then again, I suppose we just dry brushed him, so like, makes sense. So we're just gonna do a nice, simple edge dry brush with more fluorescent pink on the lightning claw guy, using Coom on the Guna Marines. Does that make them Bukaki Marines, chat? Because I know some of you were calling the airbrush the Bukaki gun when I was using it on them before. When I was using the fluorescent blue. The tainted ones. I'm going to have to cut yourself off tonight. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I made you crave more plastic crack addiction. That's fair. I mean, I like getting more people into the hobby. I'm also sorry for getting you into the hobby if you don't have the budget for it. Wow. I know this shit is expensive. We all know this shit is expensive. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy whatever you can of the hobby, whether it's painting, or YouTubers, or just hanging out in streams. Like, ultimately, there's no one way to enjoy Warhammer. Like, the common way is to paint or game, but like, there is no one way. You can just do it however you want. Whatever makes you happy, whatever way you can enjoy it, is the best way to enjoy it. That's my opinion on it, you know? You should really like that. This was a great idea, by the way. Brax, I really like how this has turned out. Thank you so much for this suggestion. The fluorescent pink doesn't really show up that well. I think I'm gonna need to do a bit more with it. I don't know that dry brushing really works with it. I think it needs to just go on a little bit harder than a dry brush. Definitely still try and keep it a light touch, but I'm gonna do a bit more than that, just so that it shows up a bit more. Because it has such a high contrast value with the other paints, I just think it'd be a waste not to have it show up a little bit more. But yeah, thank you so much for the idea. I really like how this is looking for this guy. You enjoy the game and the painting? Good night. Yes. I'm very glad that Kame told me this idea. Great idea. I don't think I'm going to do it for all of them, but I think that there's definitely a few more Marines that are going to be like this in my army. A little bit more paint, I think. Just a down. Yeah, I think that's a great look. It's just like I love the like tonal contrast from like very cold to really intense warmth. And then the fact that it just glows is it's just delightful. You forgot to post the finished models. Nice, nice. I still haven't finished the guys from last week. I'm probably not going to for a little while. I think my main goal for the next month or so is just trying to figure out how I want to do the Emperor's Children and get them painted. Let's see how this guy looks. God, I love that. Even when he glows, there's such a huge contrast. God, you guys can't see it, but it looks fantastic. God, I love how these bits where like I accidentally didn't wait for it to fully dry when I did the next coat of dry brush. So it scraped away some of the blue paint and it it just became like this like battle damage kind of thing. It looks great, I think. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this little collection of like miniatures we've made today. Let me have a look, Vex. I'm gonna have a look at what you've been doing. Let me examine. Not bad. They look good. Yeah. I don't know if it's on the camera or not, but I feel like you could probably do with a little bit more contrast on some of them. Maybe pick out some of the edges a little bit more. But then again, that could just be a style thing. But they look good. I like them. I like them. I really need to get the Scouts kill team at some point. One day. My Sons of the Phoenix. He goes, oh, you're doing the grimdark grimy thing. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Well, we did what we set out to do today. We tested out a bunch of purples. Which, before I raid out, which one do you like the most, by the way? I'll try and make it so that I'm not in the way and that you can do them all. Personally, my favorites are actually the neon ones, which don't look neon here. Or this guy. This guy's pretty good. But that's good. I really like the whole layering inks over each other thing. It's a good look. And this, I think, looks a lot better than Leviathan Purple, while being a very similar tone. God, I can't wait to see what it looks like with, like, an oil wash over him down the line. That's going to be fantastic. He's so shiny, though. Why is he so shiny? Some of these guys just ended up really shiny, and I don't know why. But yeah. Let's have a look and see who is streaming so I can raid out to. I could raid into Punk. I kind of feel like I want to raid into someone who's, you know, doing some Warhams, though. I kind of want to raid into Froggy. Mostly because I very seldom raid into Froggy. Holy shit. He's reviewing sexy models, lol. Okay, you guys really want me to raid into Punk, so we can raid into Punk. Where is Punk? Where is Punk in my list? Oh, actually, we should probably raid into Strap sometime. He's on now. But there's so many people I want to raid into, but like, I never... Timing. Wow. Hey! Alfario, innit? Wait, is that Alfarius? But not quite. Alfario. How are you doing? We kind of are just wrapping up, unfortunately. We've been playing around with different purples, trying to see which ones we would like to do. I've decided on some I don't want to do. For my Emperor's Children. And there's some I really do. I've been playing around with some fluorescent paint, so some of these glow in the dark, not all of them. But there's some nice colors I think we've been able to cook up here. Not all of them are super great. Don't know what you mean. Hydrodominant, I mean... Recent Malio. Yes. Yes. But yeah. I've been having a good time playing with stuff. I hope that you have too. But yeah, we're gonna raid out. I hope you all have a wonderful time. If you like Warhammer, by the way, please do join the Discord. There's lots of great painters in there. Give us a follow. Check out YouTube. We do book readings for Warhammer. And we try and have a comfy time. Oh. Hey. Ah, well, thank you for the follow. Well, it just said first time chat, so I didn't realize. Wow. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm sorry that we're ending just when you get here. We just kind of finished what we were doing. Oh. Wow. We'll be doing more Emperor's Children work next week. I don't know what I'm going to do next week, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's going to be testing out high contrast glowing effects with the world's blackest black and the world's brightest glowing paints. So that should be fun. Lots of oil washes, lots of actually having to mix powder pigment into mediums and make our own custom paints. So that's either going to go really, really well, or I'm going to make a next plans on Chaos Knights with them. I mean, I could do some knights. I've got like a knight household, but I'm not going to paint it until like I've saved up enough to buy a Warlord Titan. Because next year I'm going to buy a Warlord Titan, and the knights are going to be my practice for painting the Warlord Titan, basically. But I'm also going to get through all my pile of shame before I do that. Which means Death Guard, Emperor's Children, a couple of Dark Angel squads still, some Sisters of Battle, some Word Bearers, and my Knights, plus all my Age of Sigmar stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff to do. Lots of stuff. It should be fun though. Yeah.